Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up our wellness layouts for the next week in October. And I've got these stat stickers and habit trackers here that I made on my computer. I also have these blending brushes I'll be using for some ink techniques. I also have some stamps here from Cocoa Daisy and a stamp pad. I have a few different types of inks that I'll be using as well, and these sticker books which I'll pull from. Okay, so I did a little pre-pull here before I started this video just to kind of see what direction I thought I might go in this week. I'm going to go ahead and start by laying down some wax paper and figure out exactly how this is going to work. So sorry about the focus. I did not realize I did not set the focus properly before I started filming, so hopefully that won't keep happening throughout the video, but yeah, sorry about that. Anywho, so I pre-pulled these apple stickers. I thought that would be kind of a cute theme, but it's not like super fall-y since I've been doing a lot of fall themes this season. So I thought it'd be nice to kind of break it up with a little bit less fall as far as the color scheme goes and mix it up a bit. So like I said, grabbed those apples in this same book, which is the Fresh Start Teacher sticker book that I got last season in 2021, part of the back to school line. And then this is the newer book that I got from the back to school line this year, Brave Teacher, I believe is the name of that book. I'm only pulling the letters from that Brave Teacher sticker book because the styling isn't really a very good match for these other stickers, but that color of the letters was perfect for, I feel like, the feels of that red. So I'm going to try to bring in a quote using those letters because I was having a hard time finding a quote as well. And we'll see if we can make something come to life here on the spread. I've also pulled in those strip stickers there at the bottom, which I'll probably use like in a washi type design, just lining the edges there of the boxes where I put my food log and my stat stickers. So I started this process of removing the back sticker from the letter page here, just to try to make it a little easier for me to pull the letters that I needed. However, as you can see, it was not as easy as I was hoping it was going to be. So I do this for a few more seconds and then I just am like, okay, that's enough. We will just cut it down and do the rest later. I think I could just pass this row and then I was like, okay, we're gonna have to move on because I don't have the kind of time that I need here to do what I need to do. So yeah, we'll see. I do like those letter pages, but yes, they're usually very stuck on. So it's hard to grab those letters because they're so intricately cut that, yeah, it usually causes a problem. So like I said, I just kind of left it after that one row and I was like, okay, we'll do this again another time off camera maybe. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling the letters that I need. I figured on the quote, an apple a day would be a good quote for the week, you know, kind of wellness oriented, sticking with eating more fruits and vegetables, and then also this is apple time, apple season, the fall. So I just thought it was a nice way to kind of bring in a little bit of fall feels, but more of a health edge to it. And these letters are incredibly intricate, like I said. So even getting out the kind of negative space within the P and any other of the A's that I use is a little bit tricky. So there's not really a lot that's going into this spread aside from those big apples and the inking techniques I'm planning on using. I'm still really new to just using ink on spreads. I really like it. I like using it as backgrounds and stuff. I need to kind of research some more ways to use it because I think it really can add a lot of interest to a spread. So you'll see how I decide to use it here on this spread for the week. And I just pulled in a colorful box from that Brave Teacher sticker book, but like I said, the vibes in that book really just don't quite match up with the apples and the other vibes from the stickers I'm using, so I probably won't keep that box and I'll replace it with something else. I did just bring in a banner sticker for the sidebar, just kind of looking for some things to jazz up the sidebar a little bit. And as you can see, yeah, I'm just going to remove that colorful box and just stick with the letters as the decor that I'm going to pull from that. And I also pulled this quote sticker mainly because I felt like I needed a quote for the side and I didn't have a lot of options. Would have been great if I had another like apple sticker or something with a quote, but there was nothing really in there, so I went with that one to pull in a little bit more of that pink, which is kind of hard to bring in. It's not a lot of stickers in that tone. So now I'm going to cut down these strips of sticker here into halves, mainly because I really feel like I need more space for writing in the food log, so I don't want to take up too much room. And then since I'm going to use these all the way up to the top of the stat sticker, so kind of combining those two boxes, I really wanted to have a thinner strip so it wasn't so cumbersome looking on page. But because they're so skinny, they also are a little bit fragile, so I've already ripped one, but I'll match it up pretty good and kind of make it look like it's seamless. Trying to get mostly red, but I do have some, edges of black in here that will probably show through, which I'm fine with. I just really wanted the red to be the predominant tone here on these strips. So this is a pretty simple color scheme. I don't talk about making color schemes all that often on my channel, but this is a good example of a simple 2 to 3 color scheme. It's technically a two color color scheme because really it's about the pink and the red. Black is more of a tonal color. 3 colors is a good maximum if you are trying to do a spread with various different styles and shapes, maybe even stickers and fonts that don't necessarily match up with each other. A way to make everything look harmonious is to limit your color palette. So a typical 2 color to 3 color palette is about as far as I think you really want to go if you are trying to formulate a spread with varying styles of stickers and what have you. Black can go either way, so that's why I say 2 to 3 color, because black is more of a tone. Same with white, depending on what kind of spread you're doing, but black you can kind of ignore as a color for the most part, unless it's a really predominant color in your design, and just limit that 2 colors with a little bit of black accent, or it's kind of more of a highlight color. So as I was describing that, I went ahead and whited out all of the major lines in the top 2 boxes to create a large area to put in those apples and also to do this inking idea I have. I'm using my blending brush to apply this basic stamping ink. It's a chalk ink from Versa. Well, actually, I don't know how to pronounce the name of this brand, but Dewdrop inks or Versa Magic, Versa ink, you should be able to find it through that, or of course I'll put the link in the description below if you really want exactly what I'm using here. It's a good ink to use. I have learned that certain inks work well in planners and certain inks do not. And this is very similar to maybe like a Tim Holtz Distress Oxide, which I'm about to put down now. And they kind of sit on top of the page and almost have a satiny feel to them versus soaking in, or, you know what I mean, absorbing into the paper. Ooh, wow, that was a lot of red. I was a little overwhelmed there with how much red I laid down. So my idea was to take this pink grapefruit color that I have that is very similar to the pink, but a little bit too bright to match up with the pink that I'm using on the spread, and lay down a base coat basically of that, and then use the gray pumice stone color that I have in my Tim Holtz Distress Oxide to pale it out, if you will, or, you know, kind of make it look a little more muddy, similar to the pink that I have in those apples. This was easier said than done, and as you can see, I'm using a little bit of a hack here to try to get straight edges on the boxes that I have there as I'm doing the inking. Just using a piece of scrap paper to align to the line and see if I can make it work with that. Yeah, that red was like, I don't know, it just got everything kind of just overwhelmingly red. And that really negated the idea I had of making that muddy pink. I was going to use the red more as like an accent, kind of like highlight here and there just for a little interest, kind of like the leaves are in the apples, but that did not go well. So I'm cleaning all my brushes, trying to clean it up the best I can, but luckily we have paper stickers, so at least you won't be able to see a majority of that from behind as I lay down the apples onto the spread. Another kind of thing that's a little bit annoying is that I whited out the lines, but when you do this kind of inking process, it creates a ridge, the white ink that I use from my Jelly Roll white pen, and it creates a bump that catches as you put down the ink, and of course the lines kind of come back through. I mean, it's not terrible. It does keep that definition of the lines of the days, kind of brings that back, which isn't bad, but the two top parallel lines that I whited out that go across the horizontal axis, those I really didn't want to show through very much. So I'm going to try to bump these up just a little bit to cover them for the most part. There are a few that still kind of show through, but I covered most of those lines with the apples there. And now we're going to lay in these sticker strips down below. Like I said, I'll use that for my stat stickers and my food log. So just trying to repeat some of those colors here that I have at the top. I like the idea of this, but I don't know. I don't know how this turned out. Curious to hear what you guys think about this spread. At the time I thought, oh, you know, it's not too bad. It came out okay, but then the more I look at it, the more it kind of feels a little off. I think because the colors are so much brighter in the background. But I don't know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. So drop me a comment and let me know what you think. I love to hear what you guys like and what you dislike, and maybe even ideas that you have as you watch that might have made the spread better. All that is really good, not just for me, but for other users who are watching, you know, kind of helping people improve their spreads. It's just a community of people, you know, we're all sharing ideas, and not any one person is going to think the same as another, so it's really good to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions on how they would go about something like this. So I am trying to roll off this quote. This was another thing that I think might have been a little bit better had I moved it to just the right side of the page, but that's what I went with to start, so that's where it's going to stay. I'm also bringing in some stamps here, just with some crosses I got from Cocoa Daisy. And I cut it up into 3 pieces so that I could do this kind of layered look. I liked that added bit of texture. And that reminded me that I had this cross washi that I thought might be a good way to kind of close out this bottom half of the box and, you know, kind of enwrap the quote I decided to put in here. So I'm going to lay some of that down, and that is from the Happy Planner. I got it a long time ago in one of their sets. And now I'm going to lay down my stat stickers. There's a lot of excess on these stat stickers that I probably should have cut off, but I was honestly a little traumatized from the inking, and whenever I get like that, I'm just like ready to finish. So that's kind of how I start to wrap things up, and I'm like, okay, well, this is as good as it's gonna get, so let's just move on. But anyway, that should pretty much do it, friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think down below, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Bye!